What's up, y'all? Great people. How you doing today? It is Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset, Ava Cherie, as you guys know. I wanted to come to you today with a Food for Your Soul vlog. I am celebrating myself. I am celebrating an awesome opportunity to be a part of a great movement alongside some of the greatest and prolific speakers in the country, in the world. It's many of us that's going to grace this platform from June 25th to the 27th. And we're also collabing in the book You Are Enough, which will come out later. So y'all will see that a little later down the line. That's just a teaser. You know how we do. So I wanted to come today for a Food for Your Soul vlog. And the reason I am prefacing and referencing the conference, not only to, do a little promo, a little tag. You Are Enough resonates deep within my soul, right? When this opportunity arose, God moved things out of my way that day. God spoke clearly and said, it is so. Go forth. Not just that, I was opening the Madame Couture spa. I was still doing all these other things with my books and, different things and that I've shared along my journey. So when that day, everything was just on pause. And I had to be astute and tapped in and tuned in and blocking out the world to be able to receive and walk through the doors that God has open for me. So I'm going to start right there. In saying all of that, you are enough. Reconciliation. There are things in your life that made you feel that you weren't enough. There are things in each one of our lives that we may need to reconcile. We may not have considered the impact and the weight and the heaviness. But say, for instance, you have a broken or fractured relationship with one of your parents or both of your parents. We don't understand the longevity of that pain. And the person that is missing may not understand the magnitude of how that can stall someone without that closure, without that conversation, without that opportunity to say where their mindset was at when they aborted the mission, aborted their duties and responsibilities. It made the road very hard to travel, very hard to believe in ourselves, very hard to gain the confidence we needed to continue on our journey. Not saying it's impossible. Obviously, it's not. You can do all things. It's still possible to be successful. It's still possible to be a great parent when you've only been raised in a single parent household. It's always possible because your strength, your faith, and your perseverance comes in where there is a drought. Understand? But until you get to that point where you know you are enough, even though somebody may not have wanted you as a child. Maybe your parents found out they were pregnant and didn't even want to have you. Maybe they found out and they said, "Ooh, I was planning on doing something else and that don't fit in my narrative." Maybe they didn't want you. Maybe they abused you. So over your years, you had all these things swirling in your head. You didn't know. You didn't have an opportunity to talk about it. You never had an opportunity to sit before the oppressor, because that becomes an oppressive spirit when you can't rise up and understand why someone would abort their mission. When you're a beautiful soul, you're a beautiful person, you have goals, you have dreams. You didn't even get a chance to mess up and they was already gone. So you have all these things swirling in your head and you never think that you're quite enough, right? You never think that or gain the confidence to be proud of yourself, pat yourself on the back, think it's going to be successful, think you're going to have the support, right? And sometimes you have that yearning to reconcile. Now, when I was in prayer, reconciliation came to me a little differently. Reconciliation didn't come by way of it's going to be kumbaya and everything's going to be all good and we're going to go bust it up and we just going to skip on past that whole lifetime of commitment and dates, false hopes, false expectations that you gave me as I waited for you to reconcile with me your wrong, or reconcile with me your desire to be in my life, right? And a part of this You Are Enough movement and why it's hitting here is because not only for myself, but the millennials that I love, that I cherish, the young women, the young men, we don't realize that if we don't reconcile things, it's going to be a replica of what we've come from. So your man cheated, your baby daddy, what y'all call it, your baby daddy cheated, your baby mama just skirt on out of your life, right? With the next dude. She ain't want you no way. She just wanted your seed or something like that, wanted your money, wanted the, whatever came with you, right? That is not the argument. That is not the focus. That is not the issue. The issue and the concern really is, how are we going to ensure that this child or children knows throughout their entire life from both sides of their family that they are loved, that they are cherished, that they are encouraged, that they are all things, that they are great, that they are kings and queens, that nothing is impossible? How can we recommit and rededicate ourselves past the hurt of the relationship and focus on the reproduction of what we produced? Because at some point, that was the most important thing. So with reconciliation, you have to set yourself aside. You have to sacrifice your feelings. You have to serve those children. You have to meet the need of the family. You have to make sure one another's mindset is not focused on fussing, fighting, and arguing and keeping each other apart. Your biggest challenge is how to make sure that you gain your momentum and your confidence, making sure that that bridge is not broken. Because what's going to happen, you're going to create another bridge that's going to be fractured, that's going to be timid, that's going to be uncertain of themselves. You don't want to raise these types of doubts and worries and concerns and anxiety in the next generation. You want to stop it now. So when you think about reconciliation, you need to think about what that means beyond you and what the greater outcome of it is. Because if not, unfortunately, there'll be a lot of people running around not thinking that they're enough, wondering why, if I was doing great things and speaking and helping and being a servant and loving people and not doing people wrong, loyal, respectful, all of these things, but my own parents didn't want me. They don't love me. They don't support me. God, we have got to place it on our hearts and pray for reconciliation. If for nothing else, is to break that generational curse of that you are not enough, and reverse that curse to let them stand firm on a platform such as the opportunity that I have gotten to speak at You Are Enough conference. I swear to you, this fell on my heart 2 weeks ago. Has nothing to do with the conference, but it does. Because the conference is more than a conference. The conference is a way of life. The conference is a transformational mindset. The conference is transformational healing and evolution. So I'm going to incorporate and marry the two and encourage you to not only tune in to the You Are Enough conference, but to also reconcile things. And I'm speaking to people that have walked on about their life. You're not happy. No matter how many years and decades you've been missing out of someone's life, you're not happy. You're not complete. You think it's okay. You think you've gotten away with it. You think it's just over. Everybody's going to be past that. But one day, God will make you humble yourself and bend to your knees to reconcile those fractured relationships, those aborted relationships. And he's going to make you face off with what you think you have no parts in, have no obligation to. Because my friend, you do. No matter where you go in the world, you do. If your son or daughter has your name, you do. If your son or daughter has your last name, you do. If you know that's your son or daughter, you do. You have an obligation. And it starts with us as parents. We plant the seed, we nurture it, we water it. When we abort it and abandon it, you're leaving it open for the world to just do anything to. And hopefully, prayerfully, you're not such a creep that you just don't care. But if you haven't spoken that you do care, if you haven't showed, not even spoken, but the action behind you caring, how will they know that they're enough? I'm charging every parent that I know and beyond, including myself, that if it's an ought between you and the other parent, reconcile. Let's show our kids that's out here in these streets that we can reconcile even the deepest, darkest pains and hurts that we've been through for them. Let's be a living sacrifice. Because right now, on these streets, these young children are being sacrificed. They're being sacrificed by the spirit of fear, the spirit of hatred, the spirit of envy, the spirit of greed, murdering spirit. Let's show them that we're willing to sacrifice ourselves and our feelings towards one another, and let them know every day for the rest of their lives that you are enough. Boom. It's your girl off the dome, Ava Cherie. God's love and God's peace to y'all all. www.youareenoughconference.com. IAE 2021 hashtag that, and you'll find it. All right. Until next time, God's love and God's peace to you all.